I'd like to tell you a story about my late grandfather, William B. Juris, and how he inspired me to take the adventure of a lifetime. He had a 1965 Mustang that had fallen apart and needed some work, and I was a young adult, just graduated high school. I had taken automotive, engine, fuel, electrical systems, and tune-up classes at a local technical college as part of my high school education. And here we learned how to tear engines apart, so I was able to use these skills immediately after graduating high school. My grandfather and I worked on this car during my last summer before I was an adult, and we replaced the timing chain and the sprockets on the 1965 straight six Mustang. It was a very easy project. We had a lot of good times bonding with it, and when he passed away in 2010, just before that, I shared my memories with him and my family, and it made him smile when he was in the hospital. I proposed to my father and my brother that we each take all of our Mustangs on a trip to Route 66 to honor our grandfather, and they agreed, and we got in the local paper actually. We met up in Illinois, all three of us. We all have 66 Mustangs. My dad was 66 years old at the time, and we were on the road on June 6th. Again, starting in Illinois, we made our way through many different areas. My car hit 166,000 miles on the odometer during the trip. There are many old derelict gas stations and hotels type places along the route. Went through Joplin, Missouri just after they had a serious tornado. We had no set plan for where we were going to stay each night, so that made the adventure that much better. The little uncertainties of not knowing where we were going to end up each day. We averaged about 300 miles a day. Took 1 week going out west from the Chicago area to Santa Barbara, and took another week coming back. Again, some derelict hotels and interesting points of interest along the route. One of the neatest things was the Cadillac Ranch in Texas. Local artist, a bunch of old cars stuck in the ground, and people coming out and making their mark on these vehicles with some paint. It was a very interesting thing. It was out in the middle of nowhere, and I, of course, obliged by putting my mark on one of the cars, which has probably been covered up by now, I would imagine. But it was an interesting thing to see, just this row of sculptures out in the middle of nowhere, literally in the middle of nowhere. It was a fun trip, and one of the things I did do was, because Texas has a lot of open road with a lot of nothing, I was able to open the car up and really go pretty fast, which is something I would normally not do, but I was able to go about 100 miles an hour in my 1966 Mustang, which was a fun experience in addition to all the other things we saw. Definitely a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and I would recommend doing something like this to anybody, regardless of what kind of vehicle you're driving. There's just so much culture and things to see across the route that the Route 66 takes through the Painted Desert, and you get into the southwest region of the United States. Here my dad and my brother with their cars, and here me with mine. I tried to take a picture of each state's Route 66 sign with my car. We made it to the Continental Divide. A lot of friendly people along the road. Got a lot of looks from people, having all the Mustangs. We were also on the road during the serious wildfires that were going on in Arizona, I believe, at the time. And on our way back, we decided to visit the Grand Canyon and also the Impact Crater in Winslow, Arizona. And spent the night in Laughlin, Nevada for some gambling. It was nice, and some cars here that didn't quite make it. A lot of derelict things out there, just an artist's dream for photography, and the natural landscape too, with the desert and the changes between the different elevations is very interesting as well. So hope you enjoyed my video, and I highly recommend Route 66. It's a great adventure.